Extra. My name is Jagged Asemakola Ziksoka. A few minutes after 9 o'clock this morning, and of course, thanking you so much on the 25th of May this year, 2022. Now, today is the Africa Day. It is the Africa Day, and I didn't think I would come in a necktie on the Africa Day, but it's also on purpose that I dress this way. But of course, the conversation is not going to be about the Africa Day. That will come much later, possibly on Friday, when we'll be talking about a Pan-African Friday. But of course, today, we just get straight into the conversation, and what we're going to talk about and discuss today is the National Youth Convention. Now, this is a third of its kind, and joining me in studios today are two very important guests. Now, just right here with me is Mr. Leonard, CEO of the Uganda Youth Forum. You're welcome, Mr. Imani Shimwe.
Thank you so much. Good morning, viewers.
Happy to have you, and thank you so much for joining me in studios today. Together with Imani Shimwe is Apostle John Osapiri. Apostle John Osapiri is the CEO of the Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity. You're also very welcome, comrade.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Okay.
Thank you.
A very good morning today, and of course, thank you so much. How long have you been there now at Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity?
I've been at Uganda Christian Lawyers for the last 3 years.
Okay.
Yes.
When is your term ending?
My term is ending in July.
This year?
This year.
Okay. And
yes.
It's only one term?
It can be extended.
It can be extended?
Yes.
Okay. How's work been there? Because I know you came in during very terrible times.
Yes.
You came in during COVID times.
Yes,
and
during COVID times. We are making a lot of progress.
Okay. Even
through COVID. We managed to provide legal aid services to the indigent people in the community. We were also accredited by the Uganda Law Society to be among those providing essential services at the time. So we were also able to provide paralegal services in the police stations of Kampala and Kasese and Gulu. Our offices are in Kasese, Gulu, Masaka, Kayunga, and then Madiokolo and Terego.
Okay.
Yes.
It must smile. Thank you very much. Welcome, Mr. Imani Shimwe, the CEO of Uganda Youth Forum. First, talk about Uganda Youth Forum.
Thank you so much. Uganda Youth Forum is a non-government organization that was founded by the First Lady of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Mama Janet Kataha Museveni. In 1992, as you are aware, at that time we still had the aftermath of the Bush War. There were a lot of orphans, but also the disease HIV/AIDS was still a mystery. And people are still calling it Sirim. Others thought it was witchcraft. So they had a lot of
several things.
There were many other things.
Others called it a disease from Tanzania.
Yes, they thought it was from Tanzania. But then, so there was a lot of myth and misconception around that. But also the concept of sexuality and the public discussion of sexuality. There was still a lot of sexual taboos, cultural taboos, that the parents did not know how to speak to their adolescent children on issues of sexuality. The young people did not, they were just getting information from their fellow peers, which is misleading. So the Uganda Youth Forum, therefore, was founded to provide a platform for young people, for dialogue on issues of sexuality, on adolescence, challenges of growing up, for them to be able to lead productive, healthy, and other lives.
So the Uganda Youth Forum has been here since 1992?
Yes, we actually making 30 years this year.
It's as old as 30 years?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And now we're talking about the third National Youth Convention.
Yes.
That means we've had 1 and 2.
Yes.
And I think we had those actually during COVID times.
Yes.
I am only thinking, let's talk about the third, which is coming on, I think, a day after tomorrow.
Yes.
What is it about?
Okay, so this is a continuation. And during the COVID time, as you are aware, young people were still at home. School systems had shut down. And there was an outcry by parents and the young people on how to engage. So we got a partnership to work with the Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity because they also have a catchment within university fellowships on how we can work together to reach out to the young people. So the First Lady offered to sponsor the first convention, which took place in August last year during the COVID. And this was a virtual convention. So we're able to get thousands of young people come on board via Zoom. And we focused on integrity and moral values and sexual purity. Then we had the second one, which said, let's now move away from the soft skills to the hard skills. Because you know, as our young people, There's a problem of unemployment, and some reports have...
So which were the soft skills that you're moving in from?
The soft skills were now integrity, all that. So the second one now focused on how then do you work? How do you create a job? What kind of job do you do? How do you start a business? What's the best time to start? Some people say you need to have first capital so that you can start. And we are saying the best time to start is now, because capital is your mind. And once you have the idea, then materialize it. So this third one now, we are saying that without the values, you are lost. So we are going to focus on our future, our values. How do we navigate through the shifting moral culture? There is a lot of information. Young people now have been exposed to the information age. How then do you manage? How do you do self-censorship? What skills do you need? What kind of attitude and mindset do you need to be able to navigate this information overload?
Apostle John, come to the conversation here. Briefly, Mr. Imani Shimwe has actually talked about the partnership. Your catchment area is also with the university fellowships, etc. We now talk about the third national convention, the youth convention, which is going to happen on Friday this week. But what do you make of it, and what should be expected over the convention itself from the youth, and just before it happens?
Now, the third National Youth Convention will, of course, as he said, we are focusing on the changing moral trends. You know that because of the capitalistic forces of globalization coupled with materialism, and of course the impact of social media on the young people, the morals of young people are gradually changing. And today we have youth who are out of sync with virtues of morality, basic decency. And so you have youth who are growing, but the values that were once celebrated are no longer the celebrated values. For example, if we talked about the values of sexual purity, today if you said I'm a virgin and you are in school, it's like a myth. Young people will not probably understand you.
Or even mock you.
Yes, they will actually mock you. And then we have these cultures that have been introduced because of the impact of foreign influence. The foreigners want to dictate our politics. They want to dictate our culture. They tell us this is what is on standard. So because of that, because of peer pressure, our young people follow those virtues. And so you have things like homosexuality slowly creeping in institutions. You have bullying. Bullying is still there. Actually, I think it should even be excessive now. And then you don't have parental involvement. So that's a challenge. Parents are so busy to provide time for their children. So that's why we are saying we need to talk about morals. We need to talk about our future. If we don't talk about these things, what will happen? We are going to have a society that we don't expect to have. Because if we are saying that the young people are the future of the nation, but we are not placing emphasis on the young people, there will be a challenge in the long run. You will have fathers who are not actually fathers. They are just fathers by name, but they don't have any form of moral responsibility. And I think this is why we have the single mothers. The population is growing, the single mothers thing. It's growing. There's no commitment in marriage. So these are virtues that we want to put across. Things to do with commitment. Virtues to do with purity. As a youth, how do I live? And so, as the young people attend this convention, they should expect to hear from the conference host, the First Lady, Mama Janet Kataham 7. And of course, she will be the keynote speaker. And then we shall hear from Mrs. Beat Bisangwa, who has been working with the women and girls for such a long time, working with the youth. And she will be talking about how a Christian youth should actually live in these modern times. Taking a leaf from 1 Timothy chapter 1, verses 12, that says, let no one despise your youth, but be an example of the youth, or be an example of the believers in word, in purity, in charity, in faith, and in love. So she will be emphasizing that, and then we shall hear from Mr. David George Kabiswa, who is the director Asset Uganda, and I think he's a leadership consultant with the Global Leadership Summit. He will be talking about intrapersonal and interpersonal skills. How do we live with others? It's a challenge. Today you have young people committing suicide just because a relationship has not worked out. They're at campus and they are in a relationship, and the only thing he can do, because he has a disappointment, he commits suicide. So we are saying, how do we help young people live with others? But also in the workplace, how do you maintain your job? You're a young man, very ambitious. How do you maintain your job? Are you going to come late? Who is going to employ you if you don't have morals? If you're not disciplined, who is going to take you up? So you may have the qualifications, but you can't be employed because you are indisciplined. And so we need to talk about these values. Today, it seems in society, people who are indisciplined have more respect than people who are disciplined. So you find people who are indisciplined having a big following. And you, who is sharing a scripture on TV or radio, nobody is going to follow you, because according to them, that's not style.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now that brings me to another very important issue from what both of you here are discussing now. Ultimately, the organizer, the convener of this is our First Lady, the Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. Now, she will be looked at firstly as a political figure by some sections of the youth. Number two, you are talking about 1 Timothy, and you're reading scriptures and talking about all these things and how to live like a Christian. Then the other thing is she will also be looked at as another evangelist, Now, you will find a Jagenda Semakula who has nothing to do with the NRM and has nothing to do with Christianity, saying that is an NRM outfit and that is a local affair. What should a youth like Jagenda benefit from that? And I'm only thinking, help us understand. Yes.
Thank you so much. I think the First Lady's track record has been, really she's been proven about her passion for empowering the young people in this country. Right from the days of Weso, Uganda Women's Effort to Save the Orphans, then the Uganda Youth Forum, even before the politics of this country became so heated, she was there at the forefront of empowering young people to lead transformed life. So her passion and love as a mother, as somebody, who is in the Ministry of Education, really it is about the passion and the love for this nation.
And nobody should bring in partisan issues.
This is we are discussing values. Secondly, when, for example, an NRM boy is going to meet with an FDC girl, and one of them is infected with HIV, the HIV will not know the pattern.
Or one makes the other pregnant and runs away.
Yes, and runs away. So these issues, the values affect all of us. When they break down, when the thieves are robbing us on the streets, they don't first ask you at which religion or party. They don't. So I think the values are the foundation of society, and the society is as good as its values. And I think we need to understand that this is now outside politics, this is outside religion, because we are in this boat together, and we need to navigate it properly and keep on the right bearing.
Social development in this country, we've done quite a lot. We are into the budgeting process. We just passed our budget the other day. Next month, we'll actually be reading the budget, and we'll get all these figures for infrastructure and all the infrastructure development that we want to do in this country. When you look at the social development, and Apostle Sapiri brings out something very important, the number of you call them single mothers. I don't actually like calling them single mothers, because my mother is single. She's I can't have a double mother. I can't have double mothers. But the number of single mothers and a lot of these things are happening because people are irresponsible. And we're just looking at that particular component of social development. Even when we build skyscrapers and all the flyovers of us in a town and do all the things, you notice that there is something that we are not looking at. Look at the youth, for example. We've had several schemes. We've had the Youth Enterprise Scheme. We've had the Youth Venture Capital Fund. We've had the YLP. We've had Skilling Uganda, with the presidential initiative, Skilling the Girl Child, BITVET, TVET. All these are actually intended to empower the youth, and something seems not to be working out. What we need to do to actually take pride in, it's good to give the figures. Every other person who comes out, If religious leaders come out, they will talk about the power and the potential of the youth. If cultural leaders come, they'll do the same thing. Civil society organizations, all groups of persons will come and talk about because that's a fact that we have them. They're the majority. They are the vanguard of our societies. But something seems not to be working out. What do we need to do? Let me hear from you before Apostle responds.
Thank you so much. I think that's a great question. For me, I think the missing link has been values, execution. Because we have the best policies, we have the best aspirations. The money has been available, but the execution. Last time, I think the president on one of the campaign trails said that the money is there, but the way it reaches down, it doesn't trickle down, even if the person down. So I am saying that even good systems need great people. However much we have good systems, however much we allocate money, without the good people to actualize this, we will still have a problem. So I think there is a lot to do that we can do, starting with ourselves. Sometimes we look at government as a whole big thing, but what are we doing as individually? So I think one candle in a dark room would make a difference. And I think the challenge that each of one of us must start to take individual responsibility. Let's strive to become good teachers, good doctors, good nurses, wherever we are, good public servants, good journalists. In that way, then, we can, by aggregate and collectively, have a good society.
Apostle, come into that.
Thank you very much. In addition to what Leonard is saying, first and foremost, involvement. You know, if you want change, use the people. Involve the people. So if you have a people-led initiative, you will receive the change that you want, because it then turns to be about them, not about a system or not about a program that has been designed. And I think that is the challenge that also the organizations we're actually having, because you design programs and you don't involve the beneficiaries. And I think when you look at this convention, it's a youth-led movement. The youth are doing the mobilization. The youth are telling others about the conference. So it's something that is led by the youth. And I think if government can have more involvement of people in their programs. Of course, I know we have you have the members of parliament, but then of course you know that sometimes people are elected in leadership, and the only time they appear there is when there is a barrier taking place. So you don't have adequate interaction between the leaders and the people. So what will happen, you will design programs thinking the people are going to adopt this program at the end of the day, presuming that you've actually involved them, but in actual sense you've not involved them. So I think for me, we need to see more interaction between the district local governments with the people that they represent at that level. More interaction between the local council leaders with the people they represent. More interaction with members of parliament with the people they represent. Initiatives. Change will. Yeah, but I also wanted to emphasize that this meeting is not a religious meeting. It's for everyone. You could be atheist, you don't believe in God, but all of us believe.
Be a human being.
Yes.
Be a human being, be a youth, and belong.
Yeah, all of us believe in certain standards. We believe in certain principles. Yeah, so, and these are general principles that apply to everyone. So you're out there, I know there are principles you have, and you want to see those principles in another young person who is actually growing up. So that's why you should encourage your young person to be part of this meeting. We've actually reached out to all youth in the different political divides. I have made an invitation to the guild president of Makerere, who is actually a NOP leader. Yes, but of course leading everybody. If you are part of a political party, it doesn't mean you're only leading FDC or NRM, you're leading everybody, because these are issues concerning the well-being of all the people. Yeah, so we have many youth who are on the other side of the political divide, and they are actually supporting in the mobilization process. Yeah, so it's for everyone.
Okay,
yeah,
very important. So this is happening on Friday this week.
Yes.
And it's going to be virtual.
Yes.
So what happens to those who want to be part of it? How are they going to be part of it? Is it going to be live on TV? You know, when you talk about virtual, is it going to be, how are you mobilizing people to actually belong, to be part of these conversations that are going to happen on Friday? Leonard?
Yes, we are going to be streaming live on Zoom. So it's a webinar. And we'll be reading our numbers, if you permit us, so that young people who are interested in registering can be able to call or text us, so that we'll be able to send them the link to the webinar. But also, young people can be able to follow, because we'll be streaming live on the First Lady's YouTube channel. So Mama Janet Museveni's YouTube channel will also be live on that.
What's the YouTube channel?
It is a First Lady, I think.
First Lady.
First Lady.
We just need to be sure.
Yes,
we need to be sure anyway.
Yes,
but once you put in Mama Janet Museveni, then you'll definitely have to get there if you know how to use Apostle Sapiri.
Maybe what he didn't bring out, we have students who are in the institutions of learning.
Okay.
We are working with a few institutions to ensure that we do a live broadcast for them through Zoom still, but this time they will gather in probably a hall and sit together. And
in their different universities?
Yes, in the different universities, but also secondary schools. We've reached out to a few secondary schools that opened their doors to us.
Okay. What is expected of them, the participants?
What is expected? One, the participants should have data to get online, because we do not have the provision of data.
For everybody?
Yes, for everybody. And of course, it's complicated if you try to provide data. And then, two, we expect them to, of course, keep time. The meeting starts at 2:30, and we'll try as much as possible to keep time. And then we have a few representatives, I think about 100 student leaders, who have been selected from the different institutions of learning, and they will be participating physically at State House Entebbe. So those ones are already organized. Yes.
Okay. We've also had, and I want to know what Uganda Youth Forum does, because we've also had lots of issues, especially with the National Youth Council.
Yes.
National Youth Council, when we get into organizing for the National Youth Day, the International Youth Day, the celebrations, we've had issues. There was a time when we were launching, I think, the National Youth Policy at Serena. And it ended in a fight. I just don't know what that happened. I remember the times where the minister then was...
I think they embarrassed Honorable Kinunda Kivejinja as a chief guest. And there was
it was Honorable Kinunda Kivejinja, yes.
As the chief guest.
Yes, during the times of Hajat Mukwaya.
Yes,
I remember that.
And Ronald Chibure as the state
Ronald Chibure, I think. Yes. Even during the times of Nachwala Chinji, there was still those... Exactly. And we're just trying to... what is the problem? And I'm only thinking, how is Uganda Youth Forum different from the National Youth Council? And how would you relate? How would you work together? How would you all do ththings? And of course, there's the other school outfit also called the UNSA. Yes. And I also want to see where UNSA actually is.
Yes. Thank you so much. The National Youth Council is a statutory established by, yes. So it's a government body, and they are required to hold elections, and they have structures from the national level to the grassroots. For us, we are a non-government organization. Okay. That's why actually we are not politicized. For us, we are an NGO.
That's why you don't even fight.
We don't even fight. For us, we don't fight. We have had experiences though, where we do regional conferences, and sometimes when people hear the First Lady is there, then they expect, you see our young people, sometimes they think money before information, money before knowledge, money before skills. And we've taken exception. We tell them, yes, giving you money is giving you fish, but not teaching you how to fish. And the Uganda Youth Forum, our values and principles is about empowering young people so that they can fish for themselves beyond the handouts. So I think some of the challenges with the government structures is the politicization and also Mfunirawa and the money and all that. But we've been, this is focused on, we are teaching you, we are equipping you to become a young person that can be able to make a difference in your life for yourself and your family.
Very important now. He brings in something very important, which I would love to talk about much later, but he's just brought it out here, the money bit of it. A few leaders have been selected, and I think this will be at State House to participate. One of the problems that you've caused those is they're coming back from State House with some money, and those are not going to State House actually wondering why they are not going to State House. They feel left out, and there's going to be some war somewhere for those, because you can't go to State House. You are in a meeting that has been organized by the First Lady, and you don't come back with money. how shall we explain to the people that we really went to State House? We were with the First Lady. Look at all these pictures with us. We'll post them on Twitter, on everything. And tell people we didn't get money from the First Lady. That mentality of the moment you show up anywhere where there is a leader, the President, the First Lady, a minister, a Prime Minister, etc., then there should be money.
Thank you very much. You see, materialism is a problem, and we have to change the mindset of our young people. If we are to build a stable nation, because if people want to be paid, do you know that people want to be paid to attend a training? People want to be paid to attend a sensitization. We work with many beneficiaries in the communities, in the villages. Even in the villages, people don't want to come for meetings.
Exactly.
They want you to give them transport refund.
And as long as you tell the people to register,
yes.
then registration means cash.
Yeah,
they're registering us to get money. Somebody just rather registers, walks away, go do something and come back in the evening.
Yeah, so we have to deal with that negative mentality. And for us, our emphasis is not money. Actually, if you looked at our budget, it's the smallest that has ever existed. Leonard can bear me witness. And we have encouraged these young people to volunteer their services to the organization. They are doing mobilization, but we are not giving them money to do mobilization. Neither are we giving them money to attend such a meeting. So even when they go to State House, they are going to attend to a training. They will be trained, they will be mentored. That is the biggest benefit they will get out of that meeting. They will not come with money because it's not a money venture. We are non-government organizations. Where do NGOs get money? We have nowhere to actually get money. So it's voluntary, and that's why we are saying voluntarily you should join the link. Voluntarily you should be ready to participate. So it's that spirit. We are led by that spirit of voluntarism, which is very key. And we are doing this because we want to impart something in these young people to know that, yes, sometimes you may not be paid, but you know that human beings can't pay you enough, but God, who sees in secret, will pay you and pay you beyond money can ever satisfy you. So that's why we want to encourage the young people who are viewing this. We want to encourage you to get out of the money mentality. Get out of the Mfunidawa scheme. You know, you tell someone there's a conference, then they tell you, is there money? There's a young person who asked me on WhatsApp, I shared it on a group and said, is there money to be given out? So I said, no, you don't need to be given knowledge and then be given money. It's like you are double paid. You are receiving knowledge and then you also want to receive money.
From the same person.
From the same person. And yet, you know, the Bible says wisdom is a defense and money is a defense. But it says the excellence of wisdom is that wisdom gives life.
To he who has it.
Yes, but money does not give life. So you may have the money, but you may not have the life. So I think we really have to be focused and help our young people to get out of this mentality.
Okay, very important. I want to remember, I think it was in 2018, during the National Prayer Breakfast at, I think, Hotel Africana, when the President launched what we called the Year of the Family. I think at the time, the Year of the Family. And, you know, when you talk about these things, I'm looking at the youth that we have in this country. Now, you'll notice that in Uganda, it's actually the children who are the parents. We have children who are the parents. We've just had that problem get exacerbated during the times of COVID-19, where we've had so many teenage pregnancies and early marriages in a way. And I'm only thinking, these things that we just talk about and live there, who should be part of this? Away from the First Lady speaking to the youth, those who will attend, those who will make time to actually be there. What else needs to be done? Who else should be part of these to ensure that after this convention that the First Lady has spoken to us, Bisango has spoken to us, and all the others have spoken to us, to carry on and ensure that we keep forth to see that actually the values that you're talking about and the very good things, the outcomes of the convention are still abide with us. Who is this other stakeholder that we need to bring on board to clean this fiber?
Thank you. I think the first stakeholder is family, as you rightly said. The family is the foundation, is the anchor for upbringing, and it is the number one role of socialization. And in my view, without family, then there is no foundation. So we need the parents. And actually, COVID exposed that because the parents had abdicated much of the responsibility to the schools.
Okay.
And when the schools shut down, then we saw this problem.
The problem came was. Apostle Sapiri, first talk about that family issue, because you brought it up.
Yeah, the issue of family involvement is very key. And I think government should really partner with the religious institutions, because you see, politics can never be the solution of the human problems. There will always be challenges. And I always tell people that there is no government that will come and it will not have some challenges. These challenges are cross-cutting. However, personally, I think the church is the solution to the so many challenges. The places of worship have the solution to these so many challenges to do with, of course, values and morals in society. So I think the state, while designing their programs, they need to involve religious leaders. They need to involve these places of worship, because these are the people that have messages that touch the hearts of people. Politicians don't have messages that touch the hearts of people. They may convince people, but their words may not go deep into the spirits of men down there.
And they're always with the people when they're looking for votes.
Exactly.
These are with them every weekend, every week.
Yes. So I think that, one, there has to be involvement of religious leaders in designing programs, especially with respect to reaching people. They have to be involved at every level of government. I think that is very key.
Okay.
With the involvement of religious leaders, we will have stable families. And our nation will also be stable, because if the families are stable, then you have a stable country. Yeah.
Okay. Just before I give you time to talk about what needs to be done, and of course to share the links that are in, I've also just remembered one very important document that the government launched in 2018, and that was the National Sexuality Education Framework.
Yes.
Which I very well know that you've both interacted with it. How helpful has it been? Because I know the government is implementing it. How has it helped us? How is it beneficial to us? And what needs to be done? Because it's something, sexuality. And you know, when you talk about sexuality, many people tend to think it's sex. Just like when you talk about gender, many people think when you talk gender, you actually talk about the women. But you talk about gender and you talk about sexuality. Talk to me about the National Sexuality Education Framework.
Yes, thank you. I think the National Sexuality Framework that was launched by government had a consultative process that came through all the key stakeholders and partners and the religious leaders. And I think we've provided, it really lays out a strategy and a framework within which to be able to teach our young people on issues of sexuality. And as you were saying, the teachers and the school system remains the key gatekeepers for our young people. And having a healthy education framework where the young people can be able to learn on issues of sexuality, growing up, defining sexual purity, growing up when the issues of defilement, and when we talk about defilement, it's not just physical, but it's also mental, what kind of exposure, dealing with the peer pressures as they grow up. I think it provides a platform, and I think it is mutually reinforcing. For example, as Uganda Forum, we have even a curriculum we call the Smart Choices curriculum. How do you make a smart choice when you are young people? Who do you follow? What do you look at? What kind of friends do you want? What kind of goals do you have? And I think all these are geared towards ensuring that our young people live a healthy and productive lifestyle.
And your smart choices are not for choosing spouses.
No, they are, every day we make decisions. So it's for the decisions. Even, by the way, the choice to wake up and go for prep, the choice to read, the choice to all that, take a shower, we make all those decisions every day. And we are saying make sure that you make the best decision, because ultimately, while for every decision you make, there is a consequence. So sometimes we say, play now and pay later.
Okay.
Yes.
Play now, pay later. Apostle Sapiri, but getting back to the convention here that is happening next week, I beg your pardon, after tomorrow, it's on Friday. You talked about 2:30, and it's going to be virtual, but of course with a few people that will attend. Those who are supposed to attend at State House have already been invited.
Yes, yes.
Okay, involve the rest of us. What platforms do we get through to? And you just talked about the First Lady's YouTube channel. How about the others? How do we get to participate?
First and foremost, I think they need to contact us. We have phone numbers.
Okay.
But we also have young people sharing these flyers on social media. But my phone number, personally, it's on the list of the phone numbers.
How I wish my producer could actually just share the flyer if he has it. Producer, if you have the flyer, could you just share it with us? For the benefit of all the other persons who have to look at it and
would
know.
be perfect.
If you can, please share it with us and let's go on.
Yeah. So through Zoom, you have to register. So you register by making a call. You make a call and inquire and get details. We shall guide you on how you can actually register. But also, if you give us your contacts, then we are able to ask you a few questions and get you registered. That's number one. Number two, we already said on YouTube, the First Lady's YouTube page, you can also, even not her YouTube, but Twitter account, it still has, it has the flyer. So, and the details of registration are on the flyer. So you can still look at the flyer, but you can also visit the UG Christian Lawyers, UG Christian Lawyers on Twitter. That information is there. And I believe also if you visited the Twitter account of Uganda Youth Forum, you will still find that information to help you get registered. Yeah. Okay,
share the numbers if you can.
Okay.
If it's okay to share the numbers.
Thank you. My number is 0751 66 45 86 0751 66 4586, that is for Airtel, and MTN is 0780 39 39 51. 0780 39 39 51.
Okay. Yeah. And registration is free of charge?
Yes, registration is free of charge. Attendance is also free of charge, but you'll need to get some data to be able to participate. It's a 2 hours meeting, so I think about maybe how many MBs are those? Isn't that about 2,000?
No, they have data. The people have data.
Yeah.
Because they have data for all the other things. And they will know how to manage their data. Don't be worried about that.
Yeah,
whoever wants to be there will have data.
Yeah. So you will also need to get data to get online. We look forward to interacting with you, and we hope that the webinar will be very interactive. You people will be asked a few questions and you'll be able to respond. And we are saying that for those who have participated in the previous conventions, they will get a certificate.
Okay.
Yeah. After certificate of attendance.
That was actually going to be my next question. Is there anything for somebody to show? Because people would love to show that I actually participated as part of this convention, and this is what I have to show that I attended. Now, that's very good. You brought it up. Mr. Leonard Imanishimwe, share your contacts as well, and let the people know how to follow you and the Uganda Youth Forum.
Thank you so much. My contact is 0774 777 055. 0774 777 055.
And that's your only number?
And that's my only number, and it is easy to get. 0774
777 055. Somebody sends a message onto that? WhatsApp?
Yes, and then WhatsApp, SMS, and then I'll be able to respond, share with you the link, and any consultation you need, I'm at your service.
Any contacts for UIF?
Yes, Uganda Youth, you can send us an email also at ugandayouthforum@gmail.com. Yes.
Okay.
But I want to say,
please
for
say
those
it.
who love music and entertainment, that will have Pastor Wilson Bugembe, but also he has a powerful testimony about what he has gone through to be where he is.
Okay.
And we also have entertainment, because our young people, it's not just information, we also have time to stand up and dance.
Okay. Finally, from you, Mr. Osapiri,
I want
your final
to,
comments, yes.
Thank you very much. I want to encourage our viewers. Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity is a legal aid entity. Apart from the convention, we want you to come and receive free legal services. You have a case, or you've been arrested, your relative has been arrested, you can always reach out to us. Our office is at Baptist House, Wandegea, on first floor. That is Bombo Road. So freely come, you will meet staff there. They will give you legal advice. But we also have offices in Gulu, in Kasese. Kasese, we are just at the district headquarters, and also in Kayunga, we are the district headquarters. For the Gulu office, you may need to visit the Kampala office so that we can give you adequate directions. But our current office is at Baptist Church, Gulu. So you can always visit for legal aid provision. And also those in Masaka, our office is next to the court. When you get to the court, you ask for Uganda Christian Lawyers offices. They will show you the office.
And you say you give free services?
Yes, it's a legal aid entity. Yes, we are licensed by the law council to provide free legal services.
For any case?
Yes.
Criminal, civil?
Yes, we offer free legal representation for criminal and civil, and we also do alternative dispute resolution, which is mediation.
And arbitration.
And arbitration.
Well, not arbitration,
no,
but mediation.
Mediation. We don't do arbitration.
But you do mediation?
Yes, we do mediation.
Okay.
Yes.
So somebody comes to you and they tell you, this is my problem, and you help them out?
Yes, we either file a case in the court, or we follow up the matter with the police for litigation. This is what we are doing in Kayunga, because in Kayunga we are helping people who are facing gender-based violence. You are there and your man is beating you day and night. Please come. Don't die with your being beaten. Come and meet a lawyer, and they will advise you. They will also counsel you, and they will hope your marriage to stand. We have people who come, they want to divorce, but as a Christian fraternity, we don't believe in divorce. So we always encourage them to reconcile. And so many of them have actually reconciled, coming to us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Apostle Sapiri. Anything more from you?
Just to encourage the young people to turn on. This is an opportunity. It's a great opportunity. We've been encouraged by all the enthusiasm that we are seeing online, universities, secondary schools, and it is the place to be if you're a young person at that time. There's a lot of interaction and networking, and great ideas and overall wisdom from the senior citizens and the young people. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. The National Youth Convention is coming on a Friday, 27th, and it's going to be at State House, but of course virtual for those of you who will be attending online, according to what the gentlemen in studios have told us. It's going to be the third of its kind, organized, convened, and hosted by the First Lady of Uganda, Her Excellency, the Honorable Janet Kataha Museveni. Starts 2:30 p.m. till
4:30.
Till 4:30. For those next 2 hours, be engaged and be part of that. I thanking my guests in studios, Mr. Leonard Imani Shimwe, the CEO of the Uganda Youth Forum. Thank you very much for having allowed to join us. And of course, also thanking Apostle John Osapiri, the CEO of the Uganda Christian Lawyers Fraternity, with whom they are partnering with UIF, to see that this actually happens. We'll stop the conversation here for today. Wishing all the best, and of course, to all gallant sons and daughters of Africa, it is Africa Day. And we say, yes, Africa Day today. And thanking everybody for God and my country. Let's wait for Friday and see what happens. Good morning, bye for today, and shalom.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda Extra. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.